Hi there, Eric Dieperink here with a new tutorial. And in this tutorial I will teach you how to spin an article. And I can give you 3 guarantees. If you spin an article exactly the way I do it in this tutorial, I can give you 3 guarantees. The first guarantee is that search engines like Google cannot detect that it's a spun article. It is completely impossible, and you will see later why. The second guarantee is that the grammar is 100% correct, and the third guarantee is that a human can read it normally. So it won't be a messed up text or an article that is maybe good for the search engines but not for the human eye. So that is a guarantee. Now the first thing you need to do, of course, is write an article. Now I did here, so this is a short article, this is just an example. I really would recommend that you write an article of minimum 500 words. Better would be 1,000 words. The longer an article is, the better for Google. Anyhow, let me read the first sentence. I have tried to make money online for years now, and finally I found something that really works. Hello, my name is etc, etc, etc. So this is how you write an article. That's the easy part. The next thing you're going to do is write every sentence all over again, but in a different way. So let me give you an example. As you know, the first sentence was, I have tried to make money online for years and I found something that really works. So every sentence that you wrote, you have to make 2 or better 3 new sentences that actually says exactly the same. So let me show you what I've done here. And in the meantime, you'll also see exactly what a spin tax is. This is a spin tax. You start with a curly bracket, and you always end with a curly bracket. And between those curly brackets, you use pipelines for every sentence. So, as you know, I have tried to make money online for years and I found something that really works. Pipeline. Then we go to the next sentence, which actually says exactly the same thing as this sentence. So, for years I have tried to make money with the internet and I think I found the golden egg. The second one will be, or the third one, trying to make money online is something I have tried for years and I think I have found something that could work for everybody. So again, you start open with a curly bracket and then every sentence, this is called a spin text by the way, and then after every sentence you put a pipeline, and after the pipeline you start with a new sentence, and after this pipeline again a new sentence, and you can go on. Well, the best thing is to do actually is to make 2 or 3 new sentences from each sentence in your article. Right, now the next step will be the following, and that is like, I have tried to make money online and now we're going to make nested spin taxes. So that's actually a spin tax in a spin tax. So I have tried to make money online, curly bracket and pipeline. I will tell you later what this is actually, because this is an optional spin tax. That means sometimes the generator won't generate anything because, as you can see here, it's empty space, and the other times it will put here or in your sentence many times. So I have tried to make money online many times, that's a nested spin tax, for years, and this is also a nested spin tax. As you can see, there's many possibilities, so 4, and then curly bracket, years, pipeline, the last, and again a new nested spin tax, 5, 6, 7, 4, 2 years. Close the spin tax always with a closing curly bracket. Now, and I'm going to show you later, by the way, how you can also check your spin taxes, because sometimes it can be quite confusing, especially when you go really deep. And finally, pipeline after a while, so it will generate sometimes this version with the word finally, and sometimes it will generate this version with after a while. It sounds really messy still, but later it will be more clear. Later you will see the light of AppZilla's article spinner. And as you can see, it's quite a lot of work actually to write an article and to make spin taxes, and also deep spin taxes. but it will pay off because eventually you will end up with, depends on the titles that you're going to put in, but I'm going to show you that later. But eventually you will end up with 1,000 unique articles that are grammatically correct and undetectable for search engines. And of course the fact that it's completely readable for humans. So even humans cannot see it's a spun article. Right, well, next step will be as you can see, this is the original article, and eventually you end up with this one. A complete spun article with spun titles, description. You don't need to do anything with the description right now, by the way. The H1 or H2. This is how an article, looks like. You have a title, you have a header 1 or a header 2, and then of course the rest of the article itself. As you can see, this article that started like this little. Let me see. It started out like this, just some text, not even 500 words, and eventually you end up with this. Okay, let's go back to the optional spin tags, because that's quite important, because sometimes you don't want to use anything. So what you can do here, you open of course a spin text with a curly bracket, and you close it of course with a curly bracket, closing bracket, but here's a pipeline, and sometimes it will not generate anything. So basically this will not be published in an article. Sometimes it's up to you. So I certainly would use this a lot if possible, because that makes it first of all very hard for Google to detect this. So I would use this a lot. The second thing I would use a lot is a optional paragraph spin tags, and I've put one here, I think. Yes. So sometimes in your paragraph you put another spin text, like here. You start off with an open curly bracket, pipeline. Then you click enter and you close it with a closing curly bracket. This way, sometimes it will actually generate also different paragraphs. And I would use this somewhere like 4 or 5 times somewhere in your article. Why? Because Google works with footprints. And the last thing you want to do is leave behind footprints for Google to detect spun articles. So if you have a spun article that always have the same amount of paragraphs, Google starts to think like, hey, that's quite fishy. So that's why you need to use, like in one article, 4 or 5 times this optional paragraph spin tags. Very important. There are more tricks, by the way, but I'm going to show you that later. So, okay, we have our article. I wrote here the titles. I'm going to copy all the titles I created here in a spin text, of course. Copy that. And then, of course, we go to our article spinner in AppZilla. Now, let's create a new article. So let's give it a suitable name again. Let's call it It's just an example. So that's the name. Then we go to content, and here we place the titles. Then we copy these ones over here. This is the article itself. Copy. Well, and then we scroll down. And let's look at this article, how I actually created this article and how deep does my article go. How many spin tag levels do I have? All right, level 1 is red. You do not want to have only red. You need to have at least a level 2 spin tags. What would be better, of course, is level 3, and level 4 is awesome. Level 5, level 6 is possible, level 7 as well, but that's quite difficult. That's for the pros. I can do that actually, but that's really, you have to think a lot. But I can guarantee you, if you have level 2 and level 3 and level 4 in your article, you're going to be just fine. Google will not detect that your article is a spun article. So here you can see this is level 3. Let me see if I have an orange somewhere. No, my article doesn't go further than level 3, but that's just fine. That's perfect. Also, if you want to check for errors, if you want to make sure there's no errors in your spin text story or your content, you always start with a red bracket, curly bracket, and it always has to end with a red curly bracket. So if this is not the case, something went wrong in your spinning or in your writing. And this is a perfect way, of course, this tool is perfect to detect if your spun text is correct. There's also another way to see if your spun text is correct, and that is if you go to checkspintext.com. This tool is free to use. Enter your spin text in the left field and click the Check Your Spin Text button. Check Spin Text will analyze it and search for possible errors. Now, those errors you want to get rid of, because otherwise your article will not be spun. Right, so that I've explained. Then we go to the next thing, and that is a fixed spin text. I haven't put it in this article, but I can show you what a fixed spin text is, and it's very important for your search engine optimization, your SEO. Because some articles you just want to refer to your keyword. Now, to do so, let me see where I have that actually. I have an example here. This is an example of a fixed spin text. And a fixed spin text you do with a square bracket. So not a curly bracket, but a square bracket. So I have here searching, looking, this is a spin text, for a web designer in Chicago, New York, San Francisco. Of course, again, divided by pipelines. And one article will only spin at that moment the word Chicago. The other article only is spun with the word New York, and etc. etc. So you have an article that is like full of your keywords. So not all your keywords are divided in one article. So Chicago will only appear in one article. The next article that has been spun will appear, or New York will appear there only, etc. etc. So if you are a search engine optimization marketer and you want, because we all know why we use spun articles, we do that for backlinking. And this way you make sure that every article is going to be optimized. So Google knows, like, hey, this article is all about Chicago or New York or San Francisco. Right. Use that in your content. Very important. All right. Right now I'm going to go to spin text combinations. Oh, of course I have to select some text first. So in this case I will select only the title. Why actually? Because I want to know how many articles can be spun with this text over here, this spin text. So I'm going to click here on spin text combinations. And as you can see, I have a total of 293 unique combinations generated. Now, if you want to have 1,000 articles that have unique titles, you need to write more of them, as you can see, because right now our generator will only generate 293 unique combinations. Now, if I'm going to go here, you can also, by the way, preview a text. As you can see, it is completely human. And once you're done, we're going to go to the spinning method. Now, we already know now that we can create 293 unique titles. If that's what you want, 293 articles with unique titles, then you click here. Because if you leave this open, it will create 1,000 articles, but sometimes the same title will appear in another article. Shuffle all paragraphs. This is also very important because I always create articles where I know that some paragraphs can be shuffled and will still be readable for humans. And of course this is also perfect for your SEO because this way Google never ever can detect that it is actually a spun article. So you can do that by clicking here, or if you don't want to do that, you can actually, before, let's say I copy this, so let's say if you just want like 2 paragraphs to be shuffled all the time, you copy this and later you copy this one and you put these before the opening curly bracket, and this one you put after the closing curly bracket, and that way you decide which paragraphs will be shuffled all the time. Right, so this should be clear. Right, now I'm going back to content because we can also add synonyms to the article itself. Let's say, for example, I have here the word academy. Now double click on the word academy. As you can see, our thesaurus database comes up with a lot of options. You can actually also add to our thesaurus new synonyms if you want to, by doing it here. But in this case I'm going to use, let's say, gymnasium, although it doesn't make any sense in the content. More sense would be the educational institution, but just for an example I will show you how it works. And then the only thing you do is you click the ones that you want to use for your spin tags and then add spin tags, and immediately it has been added, as you can see. How nice is that? And you can do that with all the words that you see. So, well, I wouldn't do all the words because you need to make it readable. It's very important. Let me see, what do I need to explain next? Well, once you're done with creating your article and putting your spin tags in there and your synonyms, you click on Ready. This can take a while, by the way. Right, well, let's have a look at the versions. Of course, if you want to change things, you can click on Edit. You can also clone the project, remove it, but we're going to click on Versions. And here you can see all the versions that AppZilla's article spinner has created. These are 1000 versions right now, and you can download, let's say, one of these by clicking here on Download, or you can download all versions, which I just did. I'm going to do that now. Open a folder. I'll copy this, place it on my desktop, and I'm going to extract it here on my desktop as well. This can again take a while because these are a lot of articles. And here are all your articles. Here you go, you have a text document and you have an HTML version. Let me see. Also, if you want to, but this is only for advanced users. If I'm going back to the members area, my articles, edit, content. This is for advanced users. Because our article spinner also spins elements and HTML. And if you want to do that, actually, you have to click here on the source button. And the same thing goes here. You just open with a curly bracket in here. You paste your HTML code and you close it or you put a pipeline there, of course. You put there a new HTML code. as many as you like, but divide it by pipelines, of course, and then you close it with a curly bracket. And this way you can also spin HTML and images, for example. Right, this is how it works. The first time when you write an article and try to write spin taxes will be quite difficult. But it's after, I had it under control after one article already. So try it out. It really helps you with your search engine optimization, your backlinking, and I can guarantee you that all articles spun by AppZilla are completely undetectable for search engines and completely readable for humans. Thank you for watching this video, and let's go to the next one.